Well, as soon as he gets the camera on me, I'll start talking. Well, you're here for TAR. What is this, TAR 19, our podcast?
Podcast 19.
Number 19. We're surrounded by heroes and even a couple of pool players. Well, they think they're pool players. I'm here with Justin, from the man from the Action Report. To my left is Mr. Michael Dechaine from, where the hell you calling home? Rhode Island.
Yeah, Waterville, Maine. We'll go back
Waterville,
to
Maine.
my roots.
And the bigger guy on this side is Mr. Dennis Hatch, the infamous Dennis Hatch. Getting ready for TAR 25, which starts tomorrow. That's a race to 25, 2 out of 3 days, and part of our new challenge series that Justin came up with, which we can start right there real briefly. What do you think of this new format, where you don't have to have backers involved and all that kind of stuff? I mean, what's your thoughts?
I think it's nice, as long as there's, in my honest opinion, not a lot of money involved. Personally, I just like the long race for the big money because I think the best player always comes out on top.
I mean, long, like one race to 100 or something?
50, you know, something. I think 100's a little too long, but yeah. I like a little longer race, maybe 50, 60, something like that. But that's only if you're betting like 10 or 20,000.
Yeah.
In a format like this, I think it's perfect. Races to 25 are better for the fans and the players.
What do you think?
I'd have to disagree. I'd have to go like, I think shorter races to 15 or 17 tops, but like 5 out of 9 or something sets. You know, because not everyone's. There's a point of no return in those long races for the underdog or for the person who's losing, and it's really tough to come back from like a 45-32 deficit.
Ask Alex that.
Yeah, well, there's exceptions. There are exceptions. People have done it, but it's not going to happen that much.
Well, the problem, you know, just jumping right in there, is because I interrupt all the time. Everybody knows that. It's the spectators. People don't want to watch a race to 100. It puts them to sleep, particularly if it loses the excitement.
Right.
But I understand what you're saying. The concept of a long race, you get a guy down, keep him down.
Right.
You know,
pretty much.
And when you're with a short race, you're giving a guy air.
Right.
You know, he can just shuck it off and go wash his face. But that's two different styles.
But technically, what's more difficult?
Winning.
Well, it's a middle point.
Yeah, I mean, a close race to 17 or someone being ahead 45 to 32. I think a close race to 17 is more pressure.
Yeah, but the best player doesn't have to win.
Right. You can get beat 17-16 if you're playing a race.
Yeah.
You know, to 50 or 60, you're down by 1 game.
Yeah.
The other way, you know.
And I think, you know, everybody kind of looks to the Philippines as the leader of the head-up matches, and you go onto one side, and those guys are playing races to 32 every night. That's what I'd never heard of races.
Is that what they're doing?
Like 5 years ago, they were playing races.
They play odd numbers.
Well, they never none of the races were under 21.
Race to 30.
I mean, there was 30 to 33. They were all these races, and you say, man, it's going to take forever. It doesn't take forever.
No. Well, I mean, from our point of view, we need something that's about 5 to 6 hours long.
Yeah, particularly for East Coast, because, you know, we start at 4.
We start at 7
o'clock
on the East
Coast
Coast,
time.
so that gets done
By midnight.
Oh, yeah, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning.
So you're really not taking any longer than like a football game,
Right.
You know, or golf tournament or something like that. So
that's why I was saying a race to 50. One day you could play 20 race to 25, or, you know.
well,
25.
one thing people didn't like about the long race, the 50, the 100, 75, we've done all those. And we talked about last night is that if a guy gets stuck on the first day, you go into the second day, you're trailing by 10 or 11 games. You know, we've had some matches where guys stuck 15 games going into day 3.
And then if the guy gets a good start on you, and
then now you're
down
21 games.
right? Now
you
you're
just
20
give
games
up.
behind.
It's tough.
It's too mentally draining.
Well, like,
to come in.
you know, perfect example, Darren Appleton, you know, when you played him, you know, after that match, he said he didn't remember like half of it.
Really?
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny.
You know, I think some people, you know, but then again, I've said this about the European players, you know.
They're built for that.
They're built for that race to 10.
Right.
Race to 11.
They really have home.
That's how they.
I agree.
You know, that's how they focus, and that's what they're trained to do. I think that's one of the reasons why they've been dominating in international competition.
Yeah.
Is because, you know, that's how they train, that's how they focus. Whereas in this country, a lot of players, especially when they're coming up, and a guy like you with your background, as much action as you've played, you know, you're used to that long race, and you want that grind because it plays to your strengths.
Yeah, I like it. You know, it gives you a little time to get loose, get going, you know, and put some packages together pretty much.
Yeah, and it's the difference between a sprinter and a long distance.
Well, it's not just that. You can literally have a bad hour or a bad whatever, you know, and still not be completely out of it. You know, if you play a race to 25 and you start out a little rough, or in the middle you have a you know, where you don't make balls in the break or you miss a few balls. I mean, pretty much same situation. You get down by 5 or 6 games and you're in serious trouble.
Yep.
You know, and that's where I feel like a little bit longer race gives you a chance to where if you do get a little bit behind, you can catch up. You know.
Yep.
But normally a race to 25 is considered a pretty long race.
Yeah.
It sure isn't a race to 9
Yeah.
or TV race
Right.
to 7 or some of that crazy stuff.
Right.
And it's not alternating brakes, so you get to stretch your legs a little bit, and if you get rolling, you can put this pack on.
Well, I'll tell you what, I started a thread on AZ asking some questions. Why don't we just jump into that?
Okay.
There were some good ones on there. This one's from Blackballed. He said he would like to know their goals for pool in their lives, short and long term. So both of you, Mike, why don't you start? What are your goals in pool? Both short term and for the long haul.
Short term is to win, of course.
Win what?
Anything.
You mean win that match tomorrow night?
Everything.
You mean against this guy?
Yeah, just win.
Just win, period. Exactly. That's what everybody wants to do when they go out there.
My long-term goals is actually to use, hopefully I can win over the next 5-10 years and use whatever I do, and better the game. It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough, but I also think that a lot of work needs to go into it, and things need to be done the right way. Right now, it's just not happening.
The problem is
most
that
part.
there is no right way in pool. There is no path right now.
Well, I think there is. I think what it is, to be honest with you, not everyone. This is the future of pool in my eyes right here. This setup. This right here is what's going on.
It's what I call the boxing concept.
Absolutely, it's perfect.
it's,
Don't reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
But I think that the mentality of the players are in such a low spot in a lot of these promoters. Not every one of them, but a lot of these promoters take advantage of that, and they use them. And these people are going to jump every time because they need that 2,000-3,000. They need it to survive. So hopefully in a couple of years that all changes. I think right now I think it could be done, but. Man, being a pool player and growing up, you're born with a mentality. It's to get whatever you can. To basically hustle your way through life. But I think right now, I think Shane's the best player, maybe in the world right now. I think if he stepped up and took the leader role, he could definitely change the sport. He could.
I think he's the best breaker in the world.
Well, I agree with that. What we think is nothing. What we think is different. But let's be honest. What he has. He has power, and he doesn't realize he has his power.
You're talking about politically.
Yes, and he's a little bit of a. I like Shane. I give him shit all the time.
Really?
Yeah, well, he does to me too.
him.
Listen, there's
Not
two
you.
sides of that coin.
You don't give anybody shit.
I give everybody shit. It don't matter. There's two sides of that coin, but Shane's a little bit of a loner, and I think if he took the right approach, he could be the one right now to change the game for the better.
Well, the other thing with Shane, and I agree with what you're saying that he does have some clout, and I think that's one of the reasons why, Charlie Williams throws his name up there real proud with the AVP.
That's a joke.
This is a non-politically correct program.
You don't hear me say much over here. I'm quiet.
You can say
You're coming.
It don't matter.
It's my turn.
But before we get into all that, let's let Dennis answer the question. What are your goals?
I don't think people want to hear my answer.
Well, what are your goals
yeah,
in
go
pool,
for it.
short term and long term? You've been around a lot
honestly,
longer than this guy,
There's an
so-
age difference
I'm
here.
41.
Yeah.
Looking at 42 right around the corner. So my pool career is pretty much on the downward spiral. Age, my eyes, body, all the effects that come with age and time. But there's just really not much future in pool, to be honest with you. And for a guy like me to continue to play till I'm 45, 46, 48, 50, do I want to be no disrespect to anybody, an Earl, Danny D, all the older guys, Grady, what do they have? What they were great players, but what does it mean? Where does it get you in life? And it really gets you nowhere. And in my opinion, I'll probably be looking for a job real soon if you guys don't continue to do what you're doing and maybe bonus ball happen, and I'll probably be looking to get some more stability, maybe a little insurance, because I can't even afford to go to the doctor because I don't have insurance.
Yeah.
I got 2 torn rotator cuffs, a bad knee,
Wow. Well, I think it's great that you
it's tough.
understand the reality of
It
what
is.
you're doing.
That's what it is.
and
It is
that's
reality.
important.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
I think right now. Listen, you have a lot of years left. I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna agree with that, too.
You
I
have
think-
a lot of years left.
Oh, I do. I agree too. I mean,
Right,
yeah.
you keep yourself in shape. You're
Right.
not overweight.
I do, but
you're.
it's still, there
but
comes a
if
time
you
when
want
you-
it, right? Well, yeah,
Right.
long term.
When
See,
you-
I'm
when you-
in the same boat as you, man.
When you realize
I mean,
I'm 40, I'm going to be 42. Do I
Yeah.
want to continue to play 50, and then at 50, when I can't see anymore, or
Right.
I can't
You-
compete?
But you can
then
fix
what?
eyes.
Then get a
Right.
job.
Eyes can
Right.
be fixed. And it's not like this is not like a running or lifting weight contest. The only real strenuous thing is the break and everything. And if you
Right.
keep these races, most tournaments are races to 10 or 15, and this is a long race. It'll be a long race at 25. I don't think the physical ties into it that much, other than maybe getting sick once in a
the
while.
thing of it is, I think it does when you're playing at the very highest
Right.
level.
It's the
Yeah, because you only need
the
you
mental,
lot
the
of
mental,
energy.
the nerves, the blood pumping through
Yeah.
your body, your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can feel your heart blasting in your chest when you're playing big matches at the U.S. Open, the 10-ball U.S. Open, wherever you are. I mean, when it gets down to crunch time and you're in a match, hill, whatever it may be, I mean, pretty much, I don't know, maybe it's age, again, but my whole body shakes sometimes to get out, you know, and after you're done, you're on such a high, and then you come back down, and then 2 hours later, you got to play another match right back, and it's just like up, down, up, down, up, down. When I go home from a tournament, if I finish in the top 5, I sleep for 2 days. I go home, I eat and
That's
sleep for
interesting.
2 days.
See, I've never been to that level, so I can't. relate
It's
to it.
brutal. It's grueling.
You
It
could
really
probably
is.
set up a solid foundation though in giving lessons. You
That's
could
what
make
I'm
a
doing
lot
now.
of money.
That's what I'm doing now. I give a
know,
lot of lessons. I go
and
back and forth from New
seminars
York.
and this, that, the other thing. You
Yeah.
know, you can make you can make easily a good living doing it.
So anyhow, that's long-term and short-term a little bit. I mean, you did touch on hanging in there for a couple more years and see what
Well,
happens.
I would like to hang in here for a few more years.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to either, whether I get a job or not, can just focus on the BCA events, the Moscone Cup points events, try and go to those.
And I
Try
they
to
were-
pick and choose.
Yeah,
your
because like the
spots.
Josh stops, you know, it's a great tour, don't get me wrong, but they changed the tour now, and I got to drive like 4 or 5, 6 hours to go win $1,000. He plays on them. And
Yeah.
if you win one, it could be win $1,000, but meanwhile, it costs you $400 or $500 to get there.
Well, that's the
$1,000
problem.
for a weekend's great though.
Yeah, but that's not what you're winning. That's just first prize. For me,
Yeah,
I
okay,
come from Buffalo.
What?
That's working okay.
I got a 4-hour ride. I got 2 days in the hotel, gas, food, entry fee.
Yeah, I mean you're
know.
looking. You're probably going to win probably
You wanna run
600,
it?
700, but still even 600 for a weekend is an average person's paycheck.
It's 4 or 5 for me, though. It's
Okay,
really,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Even 4 or 5.
That's
probably
if you
above
win.
average.
Well, see, that right there.
I like that. I'd go and grind those out and make a
I
living.
do,
You know, that's
I
an extra
do.
10, 15,000 in my pocket if I go and win those
For a year,
every turn.
in a
Yeah,
year.
that's good money.
Yes, it is.
See, that's something I'm glad you bring that up because, and I've said this before, and I understand why it is the way it is, but like a problem we've ran into before is we've made offers to people, and it's $1,000, $1,500, whatever for 2 or 3 days work, and they say, oh, that's not enough money. And the way I
It's enough for me. Sorry, guys, but just call me. I'll be here.
Well, and the way I look at it is this: is that I mean, and I understand where that mindset comes from. Is like a lot of people I knew were if you were a kid and you were 16 years old and you were working a job for minimum wage, and then when you're in your 20s and you're working a job and you're making $400 a week, $10 an hour, and you're working 40 hours for that, whether you're working hard or not, especially if you're working hard, you have a different outlook completely on money than a kid who, when he's 14 or 15 years old, he's being staked playing $100, $200, $300
Easy come,
sets.
easy go. It has no value.
See,
Right.
I was raised the total opposite because I grew up playing those $100 sets, $1,000 sets. But I have a job now. I work 40 hours a week going out and working, and then I go and play pool on the weekends or one night a week, and I have a day off. I'm going to take everything I can get. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm going to
And
scrape it
that's-
all together and then come up with something big at the end. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah. But I mean, it's that mindset and that thing has been an issue in pool for a long, long time.
But it's also the expenses. You have to.
Well, the expenses are brutal.
Right
Expenses
now,
are
unfortunately,
brutal.
I
Expenses
actually.
will eat you up. See, a guy like me, I don't have a sponsor. When I go out there, I'm getting staked or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And I'm giving up, some money off the top plus
bet.
40 or 50%.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of
So-
stake. I don't know what your stake deals are, but like way back in the day, I used to put long before this stuff. I'd put Shane and stuff, and me or one other guy, or sometimes just me or whatever. But it would be, and our deal was, expenses off the top, split what's left,
Right.
or 60-40 to him
Right.
after what's left. But the expenses came off the top. Well, if you're talking about flying to a tournament in LA or something like that,
Or here, or-
yeah, anywhere, any flight and hotel, you're at $1,000.
Right.
And
Pretty
then
close.
and then
Well, that's without, for me to come here, well, not just this, but like to fly out here for the tournament, you're looking at $500 for the ticket,
Yep.
Yeah.
$500 for the entry fee, probably $500 or more for the room,
Yeah.
and you haven't eaten or rented
You
a
haven't
car
done anything
or
yet.
done anything
Yeah.
yet. I mean, you haven't even hit a ball yet, and you're 1,500 loser.
Right. So
and
now
then you got to
say
give that back off the top plus 40 or 50%. So I got to get like top
Yeah.
three,
Top three to make
go
anything.
home with any
And
substantial
that's
amount of money.
part of the problem. When I was growing up, went on the road a couple of times. I mean, you could Motel 6 actually meant one time $6.
Yeah, I know. Back in the day when I was
Back in
like
the day.
15, 16, you could stay in hotels very cheap.
Yeah, your nut was 50
Actually,
bucks a
that
day
brings
for two
us
guys,
to our-
you know?
to
I'd
our-
like to thank Snookers in Providence, Rhode Island. Thank you.
This
I'd like
is
to thank Bison Billiards in Buffalo, New York.
this is
I don't
actually
worry a lot about that stuff.
what you just said brings up another question. It's from one-on-one pool tourneys. He said, I would like to hear Hatch's stories when he was a kid. He used to travel in a motorhome with his father and mother and was on the road at age 14, so I've heard. I heard he could run 150 balls playing straight pool by like 15 or 16. I would like for him to confirm this or explain it, as well as throw in some information about a game called Cowboy he used
Oh
to play.
man, I must know this person. Yeah.
Again, this is all secondhand information, so I'd like him to confirm or deny this info.
As far as the Cowboy game goes, that's confidential. That's a practice game that I like to play that nobody else knows. Well, you obviously heard of it, but
Cowboy pocket billiards?
it's
I
a
know
game
that
my father just came
I
up
know
with
that.
or saw when we were out in Montana. It's just you put 3 balls on
Yep.
the table, and
Yeah.
he's heard of it. You try. It's kind of a billiard pool game.
Billiard
You got
pool
to
game,
pocket
yeah.
a ball
a
and
great
then,
game.
and then billiard. It's a position game. Teaches you how to play position. Because as you pocket a ball, you got to go 2 rails or 1 rail or 3 rails to hit an object ball. And if you don't do both, you don't get to continue to shoot. And as far as the motorhome story goes, yeah, that's true. I did that for 5 years, from the time I was 15 till the time I was 20. Me, my father, my mother, and my Uncle Mark traveled the world. I went everywhere, been to every state. Used to, my dad send me into pool rooms. We'd park at the KOA campgrounds. I'd ride my bike to the pool room and take off the whole town. And by the 10, 11 o'clock at night, they were calling the best player in town to come play me, and I'd be like, guys, I got to go to school tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. And I'd never go back the next day. I'd move on to the next town.
I have the poster that you came in second at the Glass City Open, '87.
Oh yeah.
one
I
that
think
was-
Earl beat
The
me.
year I was born.
No, I think
Was it?
I can't remember who won that one. Was it did Buddy win it? I don't know. I got the poster you signed in the center. It was at that really hot center. It was they had it in the the Tamil Shannon Center. It was like 100 degrees. Mizrak
Yeah,
was
I remember
playing
you
in
got the playing
shorts.
shorts. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first kind of pro tournament I went to because I was from Alaska.
Mizrak
I always
playing
have to
shorts,
say
that's
Alaska to keep him happy. So.
Can I say something?
Sure, go ahead.
Absolutely.
This is the first time.
Yeah,
I don't think I
one
have
thing you have to learn with him, especially,
Just interrupt.
just jump,
Just
just
jump
interrupt.
This is off topic.
This
but
is like traffic
this
in
is
LA.
the first time looking onto this little TV that I have one of the smaller heads.
I have a small head.
You have the small
Actually,
head.
it's just because your hair blends in with the background, so it looks small.
I'm
You're also the shortest.
Yeah, I know.
We got a pretty good question here from Barney Collett. He wants to know, how much time did you practice doing drills when you were growing up, or did you just play for hours on end? Do you do drills today, and if so, for how long? Who were your mentors, and who is your current mentor, if any?
Who's that to?
Both of
Anybody,
you.
both.
Okay.
It ain't to me.
I never was one on drills. I used to just play straight pool, 9 ball,
Actually,
10
can we
ball
get you to
thing.
scoot over a little bit? So, because
can do that.
we're trying to stick a lot of
8
there you
ball.
go.
I played
Perfect.
mostly a lot of straight pool growing up, and my mentors back in the day were some old Jimmy Mattia, because I was born in Michigan, so I played with Jimmy.
Wow, I didn't know that.
A few other guys in Michigan, but when I got a little bit older, my father took me on the road to finish that story. I went on my first road trip. My father took me out of school and said, if you do good, we'll stay out here, and if not, you're going back to school. And the first stop, I won 10,000. And the
First stop.
Chattanooga Billiard Club, first stop.
Oh,
The
yeah,
old man,
yeah.
Joe Estes, beat my dad out of 500 and said, I got a 15-year-old kid down in the motorhome that'll play. He said, go get him. We ended up betting 500 a game. I beat him out of 10,000. But long story short is I was never big on practice games or drills or just, I mostly played straight pool, stuff like that. And mentors were many. Siegel, because he was left-handed. Buddy, went to his house for 2 weeks when I was 15 in the motorhome. Stayed with him and had some crazy times there with Buddy.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, most
so
people didn't
taught
know he
me
had
a
a
little bit.
straight pool background.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's
I
really
loved the
important.
game. I loved
But
the
you're
game. I ran
probably the
100
youngest.
almost 150 when I was like 14 or 15 years old.
You're probably the youngest player that has a straight pool background. Now, the last of them was like Siegel.
That's because I'm old. I'm
41
41.
is not old.
I was born in the 70s, so that's all they played
I
back
was out of
then.
high school.
What about you, Mike? What about you? Did you do drills when you were learning? Do you do them now?
I don't do drills now. I actually only play once a week now. Leading up to this, I played a couple more times. But I'm not.
The violin. I only play once a week.
No, it's no joke. I swear. Like when I tell you I work, I really have a 40-hour-a-week job.
Do we?
Right now, I work for the APA in Middlesex and Essex County. Sign up. And I play one Wednesday night tournament a week at Snookers, and if I'm lucky, I get to go in on like a Sunday and hit some balls. But I have the best job in the world. Pool comes first. I get to go to tournaments, get to come here and play in this. But growing up, I guess I really, when I started playing in the pro events, probably age 19, 20 is when I really stopped to practice a little bit. And I had a job then. I did construction when I was 19. I did that for 6 months. And that's when I played my best pool, to be honest with you. When I'm not focusing on too much of it and I'm over there, it's like this all comes natural. You know, it's just something that flows. But when I start to think about it too much, it starts to, you know, grind my gears, I guess.
What else we got here? We'll get through this.
Mentors, my father. He was a great player. He's 100+ ball straight.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I never said that either. Wow, what an idiot. My father, too, yeah. My father taught me everything I know. My father and my uncle Mark, they both taught me how to play. I started beating them at 15. They hated me.
Actually, we got a cue question here, but we'll get to that later. Maybe we'll get up and have you guys show your cues. That would be cool. We'll maybe get into aiming later.
Oh, yeah, we can skip the aiming.
Aiming.
Okay, this is a question for Dennis, and this is pretty straightforward question. How big of a letdown was it to not make the 2011 Moscone Cup after the announcement was made that you made the cut at the U.S. Open?
Honestly, pretty devastating. It was because a lot of people said that you made the team. Jay Helford said I made the team right after I got beat. And I'm like, oh, I made the team, you know, because I knew I had to get like real up high to make the team. And then a few others told me, I can't remember who they were, but and then Johnny walked up to me and said, yeah, I don't think you made it. He said, we did the math, and he said you had to win that match. So
And you came in like 5th and 6th or something?
I came in 4th.
4th at the
yeah,
US
I had
Open.
to win the
and you had
match.
to win
And if I'd have beat Sean, he, you know, I would have been on the team, and he hit me with a match from hell. I mean, he played perfect right from game
I
one.
watched some of that. Yeah.
I played a bad safe, and he made a great long shot on the deuce and hit me with like 3 or 4, and then I miscued. It was like 7-0 before I even got to really see a good shot.
He played great. Sean Putnam played great in that year at the U.S. Open. I think that's the best you'll ever see him play.
Yeah.
I mean,
He played
that was that whole
And
tournament.
as far as not making the team goes, it was just, you know, I love that atmosphere, that environment.
Yeah.
the
They do a
team,
show.
you
Now,
know,
what year
just,
was it you won MVP? 10?
2009,
9 or 10?
2009, 2010 we lost.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
2011
Yeah.
I didn't play,
Right.
so yeah, 2009 MVP,
Yeah.
2010.
Well, now, going into that, this year was your first year, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. I loved it, man.
It's
That
different,
was-
isn't it? Isn't
That
it
was the
different?
best. It was one of the best things in my career so far. You know, winning that big tournament in Texas and then being on the Moscone Cup was definitely one of the best things that happened.
And it's
only
not
that,
just the money either.
The
No,
money
I don't
has
even
nothing
think
to
about
do
the
with
money.
it.
I don't
Yeah.
think about the money when I go to this or anything. I want to go there. You know, I guess glory or something. You know what I'm saying?
You wanna win.
You know, I want to win. I want to be up there on stage. But it was like, you know what? We really meshed well. Even though we lost, it was a great atmosphere. Everybody got along. I don't know about like the whole chemistry. I think we were all had a good chemistry, but so, you know, there were some things that were off. But given, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, the Europeans clicked real well.
They always do.
They work
They
together.
broke better than us.
They always
sure
break better
do.
than
You
us.
mentioned the
Well, they're
10
used
ball
to the spot.
thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
That's where they break
this
from on
was
the
the
Euro
second
Tour, same
question
thing.
from Hungarian. He said, Mike, I too am a big fan of yours as well. Tell us about the Ultimate 10 Ball in Dallas. It was a tale of 2 matches. He said you flat out dogged a 7 to beat Jeremy in the semis where he went on to win. And then Jeremy missed the ball late in the finals and you went on to win the tourney. Do you feel those 2 particular sets were milestones in your career development? And
Absolutely.
if so, why?
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, being in that pressure situation, you really that 7
That was
ball,
your first major.
It's a first. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a big tournament.
Yeah.
You know, that was a big payday. That was big everything. You know, that 7 ball. You know, I had nightmares about it. but I'd be honest with you. You know, and this is no excuse. You know, I still won the tournament, so I have no reason to tell you. I was playing with an Elk Master, and the tip actually went soft. I don't know if you ever.
Well, elk masters
That's
are
not a
soft.
personal problem. No.
No, you know what I'm saying? The tip like started to mush.
Yeah.
Towards the end of it. So
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons why I may have missed the ball. I don't remember the shot really, but that is the reason why I missed the ball.
Yeah.
Never a pool
I'm
player's
glad. No,
fault.
I
It's
won,
always something else.
It was a great match. You know, it was definitely the
It was a milestone for you, that whole tournament. You
absolutely got me on the Moscone Cup, which was awesome. You know, my father was there, a lot of friends were there, my girlfriend was there. It was perfect. It was just the perfect time. It was really great.
Okay, we got some good questions here from It's Froze on the forums. There's 3 of them. First one, we'll just run through these. This is a big match. How have you prepared? And honestly, how much time have you put in on the table to get ready for this match? Just for this. Were you able to practice for this?
I've been playing every day for 4, 5, 6, few days, 8 hours a day. I've been working out sometimes twice a day.
Yeah.
Me and my girlfriend Danielle have been doing videos, weight videos, cardio videos. After that, go to Delaware Park where I live, and it's 2 miles around. We go around once or twice.
Wow.
And then I go to the pool room with my friend Marco sitting over there, practice for 3, 4, 5 hours. Been practicing my breaker real hard. So, you know.
Okay.
Pretty much I just put myself out there. I have no excuses.
I've been partying and eating pizza.
So if I lose, it's not my fault.
No. I put in 2 solid weeks, and I've got to hit balls on a 3 7/8 shim table, which was awesome. You know, I'm ready as I'll ever be.
And this is 4 1/8, just for the people.
Practicing my break.
Yeah.
My break is killing
Well,
it right now,
and these
so.
the rotational games is becoming more and more a break contest.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Break
That's
is
all it
really becoming more and more important all the
That's
time.
it.
We have one. We'll kind of skip. Let's go into the second question is about pocket size. You said you've been playing on 3 7/8. Question of either of you been practicing on 4 1/8 pocket table. What are your thoughts as far as playing this and future matches on 4 1/8 pockets as opposed to standard 4 1/2?
I like it. My personal preference is to play on a table that's tight, so if a guy misses a ball, it doesn't go in, it doesn't bobble and fall, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, these are tight. I played on this last night for about 2 hours, so I'll tell you one thing. If you miss a ball here, or don't miss a ball here, you don't even have to miss it. Just hit it a little funny and it might not go, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are tight, but I've been playing on a diamond just like this one-piece slate with probably 4 1/4-inch pockets. I don't know, pretty close to this, but not quite as tight, so.
Okay. This is a third question, and this is a statement and a question, and it opens up something I'd love to hear what you have to say. It says, I think the Team USA, speaking Moscone Cup, needs both of you if we're going to win the upcoming Moscone Cup. What are your thoughts? Also, what are your thoughts on the captain situation as far as...
In the captain situation, I have no comment. Because I wanted to be a captain, and I contacted Luke Riches because I talked to Johnny. He said, well, ask Luke, you know, and I guess Luke said that they would consider me. And then it was between me and Charlie. And I just, maybe this is confidence or arrogance or what it is, but I thought I would get chose just because of the way I carry myself in that atmosphere, that I thought I could be a good moral support for the team. The crowd likes me, you know. So
You
I kind
rallied
of
the troops
basically
real
pretty
well.
much rallied the troops, but I got myself all in my own head thinking that I was going to be captain and how great it was going to be, and visualized and pretty much built myself up to be let down when I should have just, you know, stayed
out,
neutral, right, and mellowed out. So for me not to be any part of it was a big disappointment. But I think Charlie did a great job. Charlie's a great player, which I don't think people realize out there how good Charlie plays. I mean, he's a
Great
promoter.
coach too.
Promoter and all that stuff now. He might not play as good as he used to, but let me tell you something. When you see his name in your way, you're not excited. You know, I'll tell you that. Yeah. You're not excited. You don't look up there and say, oh, I got to play Charlie. it's a good match. Well, shit. That'll come back to bite him. Don't worry. That'll come back to bite him.
He does that with everybody.
That'll come back to bite him. Trust me.
It doesn't matter who it is.
No, he plays great.
Charlie does play.
He does. He does. He does play great.
Well, you played. I mean, he was a captain on your squad.
Yeah. Us being on the Moscone squad, I think it'd be great. You know, we have firepower, and that's what the team needed this year. You know, we needed more firepower. Plus, he's got great energy. I have great energy. You know, I like to win. You know, being around the table, it's exciting. As far as Charlie as a coach, I liked it. Charlie's a great coach, but I hope it's just not turning into a political thing. And that's all I'm going to say.
Well, I think it hurt the arena atmosphere, and you needed something to rally, and it just wouldn't rally.
Well, he was there.
You know?
He was there. I mean, he was very supportive. I'm not going to lie. Listen,
I'm not
he
saying
woke us up at 8 o'clock in the morning. We went exercise every morning. We went and played tennis. We
Well,
took a nap, and
that's-
then we went and
Yeah,
practiced, you know.
That's friggin' crazy.
I like that. I
That's
thought-
fine. If you play tennis, that's wonderful.
No, well-
Take Buddy Hall, go play tennis. Call it, I mean, it's so far out of your normal routine.
Yeah.
I thought
sorry.
it was fun. I really did.
Well,
I thought
you're-
it brought
yeah.
brought us together. You know, I'm younger.
Yeah, but let me
though.
tell
I
you
think-
something. If you don't play tennis and you get out there running around swinging
almost
that
broke my
racket, because
ankle.
I do
I
play
almost
tennis.
broke my ankle.
I play good
Until you
tennis.
break your ankle.
But if you don't
throw
know
your
what you're
arm
doing
out.
out there, you're going to wake up sore the next day. Let me
I
tell you
almost
something.
broke my ankle. I swear.
Well,
Yeah.
and that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Going, I'm sorry, I understand.
If you're going to work out your normal routine. Don't go
Yeah.
play tennis and run around
Totally.
a tennis court in
Yeah. And I think
in
that's
Vegas in 100-degree. Well, it probably wasn't 100 then,
Yeah.
but whatever.
That's just a
You know
different
what?
style.
You know what I didn't like about this year, and maybe I'm calling them out a little bit, but I don't think I am. We all participated, besides one person, and Shane didn't participate in anything, and I didn't like that. at
Well,
all.
I can't see Shane on a tennis court.
No,
running
it wasn't
around
even
whacking a ball.
tennis. It was
Well-
everything. He didn't want to be there. Like I didn't like that. You know, I didn't think
Yeah,
that
well,
was.
He was
that's-
never like that with me. Me and him got along so good. When I
No,
was
no,
on
he
there.
got along. Listen, everybody got along.
Well, we did
All
everything
was
as a
perfect.
team. We
Well, I
we
can-
practiced
we didn't wanna
together.
be
Well,
there.
see,
got
I
up
can
together.
tell you from Shane's point of view is he gets a phone call and says, "Hey, we're going to play tennis in the morning." Shane's like,
No,
No.
no,
No,
and
we're
I can
not.
understand the tennis.
Shane's like,
What's this we stuff? Because I ain't going.
you know, he's
No,
like,
but like
you know,
breakfast in the morning or stuff like that. I mean,
Well, I mean,
That's what we did when I was on the team. The first year we won, I was on the team.
That's when
We
Nick,
did.
Nick was your
Yeah,
captain.
Nick was the captain. We all meshed so well. Oscar was on there. I mean, we just had you. I felt it. I mean, everybody could feel that. we
well,
were
to
gonna
me,
win.
I mean, to me, you need a guy like Nick Davenport. You know, Alan Hopkins, I think, would be a great
Yeah.
coach. You know, to me, you don't want an active younger guy in that spot.
Right.
You want an older champion. You know that.
I like that idea.
You know, to me, it's because. I mean, I don't know. That's just what it seems like to me makes sense because in this country there really are no coaches.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the Euros have.
Yeah, they have professional coaches.
Right.
Yeah, you
And
can-
so to me,
he's
you
actually a
know,
swimming coach.
I just, I don't know.
they-
But,
they're
you know,
coaches.
bottom line, it's their dollar. They're going to do whatever they want to do. And, you know, I hope they keep doing it.
I think there should be more camaraderie. You know, it's like that. That's what I was saying when I was on the team the first year. We did everything together.
yeah,
We had a curfew. We woke up in the morning. We ate breakfast. We hit balls. We
And I
racked
think
for
that's
each
the thing,
other. We
Charlie didn't
practiced our break.
have the balls to say that to Shane.
But then when
He
we
did
went to
not have the
Europe,
balls to say. He didn't dare to say, "Hey Shane, you got to be there."
Yeah.
Or if Rodney didn't show up, "Hey
when
Rodney,
we
you
went
got
to
be
London,
there."
I
You know,
didn't
like,
see my
which I didn't
teammates
like. I
for
thought
the
if you were
first.
team-
well, you
day,
can do
I didn't
that,
even
but you
see
can't
anybody.
do it.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I didn't get
You got
their
to pick and
balls.
choose your battles.
Of
You can't
course,
tell
of
a guy
course.
you're going to play tennis.
No,
You
screw
can't
the
tell a
tennis
guy.
thing. I didn't mean
you
to say
can't-
the
Well, no,
tennis.
but there's
And it
more
was kind
shit
of
than
before
that.
the
You know,
event.
you
You know,
can't
this
tell a
was
guy,
just
hey,
before.
we're all going here after such and such.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's.
I want everybody to notice that I'm not interrupting at all. These guys are doing such a grand job interrupting each other. They don't need my assistance.
No, it was
But-
good. This year was good.
I'm kind of keeping quiet too. I usually do interrupt.
Yeah, you
but-
shouldn't talk. You shouldn't. I mean,
Well, the only thing I'll say is
I'm gonna get in trouble.
Charlie Williams is a great player. I really do think he probably is a pretty good coach. I think I would have never gone for the tennis and all that other crap. But the problem is they couldn't get the emotion going, and it's because he couldn't get the crowd to go. He got the crowd going because you're running around like a madman,
more
and the
Europeans in the
crowd
crowd.
gets
There
it.
was.
There were not more Europeans. They were outnumbered 2 to 3 to 1, but they made 3 times the noise.
they're loud. They're drunk. You know,
Well-
they're having a good time.
Well, but why couldn't the American? I mean, really, I was ashamed of the way the crowd just didn't adopt, and a lot of that's because of the politics.
But you got to have
Matchroom
somebody
knew that
there.
going in.
You have to have somebody there that's going to rile the crowd
I
up.
totally
Pool
agree.
Is not,
Totally
I hate to say
agree.
this, but it's not an exciting sport. People are going to sit there, and normally when you go to a pool tournament,
It's like
the
a
Moscone
friggin'
Cup
morgue.
isn't a tournament.
Yeah, no, it's a show.
But you have to let the crowd know and get them up. Come on, let's go. Root for
Totally
your
agree.
team. Root for your country. This is not,
Right.
a tournament. This is more than it means. It's not the
Right.
money. It's not. People say, oh, your country. Oh, this. You're fighting for this and your team. It is that. When you get there with them guys, those are your teammates. Those are your buddies, your pals, your friends on a daily basis. Yes, you want to beat their brains in because that's what you do
That's
for
your
a
job,
living.
yeah.
Sure.
But when you have a chance to finally come together, you all relish it. You want to be friends. You want to, mesh with each other, play great, and win for more than money. Obviously, the money's a perk, yes, but it's just
Yeah. Well, it'll be.
it's us against them, pretty much.
All right,
We're
we
gonna
got to
beat them next year. It's
This year.
this year.
We
I don't
gotta-
think I'm gonna play though. I don't think I'm gonna make the team because of that whole thing.
Well, it's harder to make the team now because there's fewer events in this
5
country
events.
to play.
What
5
whole thing?
events.
What do you mean?
Well, they've had
Missing
BCA
US
points.
Open.
Yeah, he's liable to have to miss the U.S. Open for a conflict of
shots.
events.
I'm playing trick shots.
Are you the trick?
ESPN trick shots. Watch out.
Here we go. This is from Mikey Frost. Ask Hatch, does he like 9 or 10 ball better? And with the break reduced on a tight table, how do you think will your safety play help you on a tight table like this?
Honestly, I'm not going to change my game at all. I mean, obviously, if the situation arises, I'll play safe. But I've been born and bred to be a shooter.
Yeah, he's not much of a
Against
safe-
Darren, I played. Everybody kept saying, "Oh my God, your safes are unbelievable." I guess I saved him to death. I don't really recall. Maybe I was kind of in a coma too. I don't know, but it was more a focus than anything else. But I guess I played a lot of safes against Darren, and that kind of got to him. But here, I'm going to do the same thing. I mean, if I start missing balls or jarring balls or struggling a little bit, I might turn to safeties a little bit. But I'm going to start out shooting.
And
just like I
9
always
or
do.
10 ball, which do you prefer?
I love 10 ball just because of the whole extra ball, the break, the corner ball doesn't fly in. But again, 10 balls turn into pretty much the same as 9 ball. If you make them 2 balls behind the one or the 4 railers,
It's over. It's easier.
just like the
It's
corner
easier
ball.
than 9 ball.
Yeah, just like the
So I
corner
say
ball
that.
and
You
the
can
one.
place the 1 ball a lot easier in this game.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you
Yeah.
something interesting, which we both learned when Shane
But I still
and
prefer 10 ball.
Earl played. They put the 9 ball
On the
on the
spot.
spot and broke from the box. Nobody was breaking balls, and they were both. It just killed the break.
Yeah.
It blew me away. I couldn't
Tough.
believe they made
you
that
can't
much
really
difference.
use a cut break. Were they playing Magic Rack? Were they
up,
using
Jeremy?
Yeah, Magic Rack.
The other question was
had-
for Mike. It said, for Mike, ask him what he's going to do different to win this match, since he would probably not be able to be as aggressive as normal on a table this tight. Do you feel that?
I was born and bred to be a shooter. No, I listen.
I wasn't allowed to play safe when I was young. My dad screamed at me.
I've been hitting balls for the last hour and a half, or whenever I got here. It's tight. It's really tight. But that's my strong point in my game is I can pocket balls really well. My position is probably going to be awful, but I think I'm going to do pretty okay making the ball.
All right. Good.
Yeah. And the break. I mean, I've been hitting the break perfect as long as I've been here. So.
He always broke good.
Do you use the break rack for breaking, or what do you guys use to practice your break?
I like the break rack. The only thing I don't like about it, I don't think it's the consistency. And you can get up there and have the same routine, but I don't think it plays the same as a rack.
Oh, it doesn't.
Yeah,
It's
it doesn't.
very, very, very similar, though.
Yeah, but I don't need I don't think the pop is the same. I want the same pop every time, and I can't get it with that break rack. I pay somebody to rack them.
With a rack?
Yeah, let's do it.
Because you can't get enough repetition in.
Yeah.
For both, do you think that pocket billiards deserves to be accepted as an Olympic sport?
That's a bad question.
So-
Just go ahead and answer it, but that's...
I don't think so. I don't think it's in. I don't think it's in. It's definitely not in the. Pool's not ready for it.
Well, it won't happen. You can't even. It's not even available till 1922. I mean, 1920.
1922.
We're going way back there, Mark.
1922.
By that time, we'll all be driving them fancy automobiles.
No, I think it's 2022 is when it's the next time it can even be considered.
Steam power. It's the new thing.
It's just it's
We've
a
done
question.
nothing to get there. We've done nothing. Nothing's nothing. We've never. We
It
don't.
won't fit. It doesn't
Isn't
fit what
cricket
they're
in
doing.
the Olympics? And,
Yeah, it's
badminton. Isn't
Yeah,
badminton?
yeah,
They're
yeah.
physical.
Yeah, so
though. They're running on
Pool, I think, should be an Olympic
And-
sport. If you can play badminton in the Olympics, I think you should be able to play pool. But you
can't
a lot of
There's
people
a
get hurt
badminton
more playing pool.
organization that probably donates money to charity.
It's
that
the
does
organization.
This. They do that. They do the another thing. We do nothing. There's not one thing we do.
And it's the spectator ability of it. It's hard to watch pool. You can't put
You ever
20,000
seen
people.
You ever seen Olympic badminton?
No.
It's
They're intense,
insane.
dude.
Is it? Well, actually, I have. Yeah, they do. They squat. Yeah, I've
Oh,
seen
dude,
it.
It
it's
is
like tennis,
insane.
dude. They're crazy.
They're a different level. And you can watch it from a distance, and so you can fill a stadium. How many people can watch a pool? You can't. You have to put it on a TV.
Yeah,
That's
Well,
why
you could-
track
you could
works so
have
well.
a-
You can
you
put
could have a-
20,000 people watch them running on a track, and you can see what's going
Well,
on.
plus it's the oldest athletic competition
Yeah.
in the world. Who can run faster so you don't get eaten by a dinosaur? I mean, it's been going on forever.
Is that what it was?
But okay, let's skip the Olympic shit.
Yeah.
This
Good
is from
idea.
T, and it's a good question. And we'll start it's for both of you guys. What part of your opponent's game do you respect the most?
Absolutely nothing.
There you go.
I respect no one, and that's how I was born and bred to be. My father said, "There's no one better than you, son. Nobody can beat you."
What I respect Dennis's game.
I was joking, by
This
the
is
way.
no joke.
I'll answer that question when
It's
he's
no
done.
joke, and maybe I'm firing back a little bit, but
I was joking.
it doesn't affect me because and he'll even probably admit it. It doesn't affect me, but he's got great presence, intimidation at the table. I mean, it's incredible. He has great intimidation. I love it. I feed into it. It's I play right along with it.
I never knew that.
For a lot of other players, I think the stare and all like it's a game. It's a game, but it's who's better at the game.
It's the intensity. That's all. Just to get a little intense.
Yeah,
But I know. What do I respect? I
always
just respect the ability to be, play like he does. That's all. The guy breaks the balls good. He plays good. He shoots straight. I mean, it's just one of the guys that where if you get up there and don't play to your capabilities, that will beat you.
How old are you, Mike?
24.
Okay.
All right, we'll move on. This is from Ron Moore. Which is more stressful, tournament play or high stakes action?
Tournaments for me.
Yeah, I'd have to say tournaments. When you get down to the nitty gritty, it means something.
You get one barrel for one
Yeah,
thing.
you get one barrel.
That's the story we used to do.
You can reload in this set. If I lose tomorrow, I'm coming back Saturday, and I'm going to study what I did wrong Friday night. But I think tournaments tougher. It really is. That race 9 is tough.
Well, that's short races again. Those tournaments are there. Too many things can happen.
Can't make a mistake.
sucks.
You can't
Especially
make a
with
mistake.
alternating breaks the way they're doing things now. Don't make a ball in a break.
I like that format.
Right.
Do
I
you?
like alternate break. Yes, I think
In
it's
tournament play.
In tournament play.
How about in match play?
in match
like
play?
this?
Yeah.
You'd rather have alternating break than winner breaks.
Absolutely. I think who's gonna make more mistakes and that shows up more. Absolutely.
But it takes away your high gear.
What happens if let's say one of us, it doesn't matter who, has a bad break? That means, and I got a good break, or he's got a good break. Then he doesn't make a ball, then he runs out of my break, then breaks and runs a rack, and breaks and runs a rack. Then he misses. I run out, but I have a bad break, and I don't make a ball. That's where the alternate break plays in. We both play good. It comes down to something as stupid as the break.
I completely disagree.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alternate break. If you get down by 3 or 4 games, you're done.
Yeah.
No, that's not true.
You got to hold serve, break serve, hold serve, break serve, just to get back to even, and then from there you got to outdo.
And that's more pressure.
If you're playing winter breaks and you get down by 4 or 5 games, you got a chance to hit the guy with a package.
Yeah.
You're going to hit him with a
excitement
3
is
or
running
a
a
4,
pack.
and now you're right back in the match.
Well, I'll tell you, I understand the alternate breaks. I've watched a shit ton of tournaments with alternate breaks. And from a spectator's point of view, and personally, I think people do not give the spectator point of view enough weight.
Consideration.
Because I'm telling you right now, like some of the rules, it's like the ABP wants, where it's just they want to make the game no luck, take everything out of it, and make it.
Sure,
you
you
might as
miss
well
it,
get up
shoot
here and
again.
shoot friggin' spot shots. But the thing of it is, people want to watch something that's enjoyable. There's nothing more enjoyable than seeing a guy 4 games stuck run a 6-pack
I
to go
love
ahead,
it.
or to
Right.
see a guy run 7 and out. Some of the biggest. What's one of the most prolific stories in all the pool? It's Johnny Archer running 13 and out.
Or
on Francisco
Wu
Bustamante.
running.
Well, it was a
Wu
total
running
of, I was
6
there,
now
I
to
watched
win.
that
Yeah.
live. Johnny ran like 14 or 15
Yeah.
because nobody realized the next set he broke and ran the first 2 racks.
Yeah.
They flipped the coin, played again. Johnny ran 13 and out, and then broke and ran out 2 more racks the next set.
Right.
So he technically ran a 15.
But that was a
out of
gambling
13.
match. The biggest one was Wu, when he was 16 years old, won the world's 9-ball in the Philippines, and I think they were playing to 17, and he was 16 to 11. He run the set.
But I mean, you ran a 9 at the 10-ball last year.
I
You ran
ran
8
no,
and a
no,
half.
no, 7.5.
7.5.
I broke, came up dry. He missed the one
Archer,
ball, and I ran out the set.
Archer is the he.
Yeah.
Archer's
But
the-
then that's the thing. Listen. And this is my whole thing. How pissed would you be? I know how pissed Johnny was. How pissed would you be if you didn't have a chance at the table?
He did have a chance.
Yeah, well, forget that one rack. After that, he didn't have another chance.
Because you played so good.
I understand that, but that's
what
the
I mean.
flaw in the game.
See,
is that
to me, that's-
I could break the balls and he might not even get a chance in the set.
I did the same thing to him at the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
4-4. He missed a 6. He missed the ball. I don't remember what it was. I ran the set out. I hit him with a 7. Just this year at the U.S. Open.
But
Last year
to
at the US
me,
Open, excuse me.
that's what life ain't fair, man.
Well, if you play good, you deserve
know
to
what
win.
happens?
If
If
listen,
you play that good,
Every sport you're playing, you have a shot.
And there's
In
a way of
pool,
fixing
in
that,
this
though.
alternate break.
No, alternate break doesn't fix it. What fixes it, if I've finished the set out, and really
Somebody's
I
gotta
should keep,
turn to
no,
run out
I
the
should actually keep going until I miss, because where do you draw the line? If he runs 2 and out, then you get a chance to run 2 and out. But there's a way if you run.
I disagree. I
if
think
you run
people-
more than 5 and out, then you get a shot. If you can do it, more power.
I think people spend way too
Yeah.
much time
Yeah.
talking about shit like that when even if you come up with the perfect solution, it doesn't fix anything.
No.
But the
The
perfect
problems are bigger.
The perfect solution for this topic and you got to think about this, has to be alternate break.
No,
It's
I
not.
Because
disagree.
we each have our equal opportunity,
Doesn't
and that's
matter.
the end. You know what I mean? How can we?
Mike, here's the way I look at it. I sell pool for a living.
For a player, I'm saying for a player,
Right.
No.
alternate break is the way to go.
Well, here's the thing. You can go play alternate break off in the corner all you want, and nobody watches.
Yeah.
Live it up.
There's
How
no
you ain't
excitement.
going to make no money at it because nobody's going to pay
No,
to watch
if
it.
you put an alternate break match in one room and winner
Yeah.
break match in the other room, and take 200 people and say, well, here,
watch it.
whichever
And then you
match you
say,
want to
hey,
watch. It's going to be like 150 to 50.
Dennis is on a six-pack.
Yeah, everybody's going to, yeah, exactly.
You know,
Mike is running a rack.
The only way they're going to run to the other room is if it's hill and
Yeah.
somebody's breaking. And other than that,
right?
because
But I
nothing
mean,
exciting.
to me, I'm anti-alternate break for one reason: is it takes away the entire possibility
And I have the solution to all this.
of
I
those,
want you to know.
of those
I
big
do.
things.
What is it?
It's tennis. And I've been thinking about this concept of they be short races.
I like that.
And
Okay.
we each get our own shots to break them around.
No, you get three. Let's race to
yeah,
three.
yeah.
I serve every game. I might run the set.
I like that.
That's 1 point. Now you get to break 3 games.
I love that
Can
idea.
you hold your break? Now it's 1-1.
It's the same thing as ultimate break.
No, it isn't.
just longer.
Oh, it's not even close to alternating break. No, it is not.
I
and
like
then,
that.
and then
You call it
I get a point. I get a point, and pretty soon you play to 3 points. That's one match
Right,
or whatever.
that's one,
And you
yeah.
do it 3 times. You play to whoever gets 2 matches first or something.
Two
Now
out of
you
three.
just it's a serve.
No, yeah.
Consider
I
it
like
a serve.
that. Yeah, I
I've
think it's
said-
great.
I've
I think
said-
why don't we run the tournament like that?
Yeah, I've said I think tennis scoring could
Be
work
there
well.
forever. The problem with you can't just say, well, why don't you run the tournament like that? The problem is you can't run a professional tournament
Do a
in this
16 man.
country. Yeah, you have to do 60. There's
Yeah,
only
16
16 pros
man.
in this country, maybe on a good day.
Yeah.
Now you can, if you get it pared down to the 8 or the 16 top players, you could actually do tournaments. But you can't do it without sponsorship, and that we have to get a package together. And I think you understand that as better than most in the industry. You have to get a package together to get the sponsors. You got to give the sponsors something to
You
get
have
the
to give them
sponsors.
something. You have to. And that's the
And-
problem with the pool players' mentality.
Totally agree.
We're only taking what they're giving, and we're not, and we're happy with it. And we're not accepting. We're not trying to go and get our own thing.
Well, see, here's what I've always said with the ABP, and if I've honestly, if
I should be quiet about this.
no, well,
Why?
here's my
Because
thing.
they're going to listen, and I
Why?
have really bad. I mean, I don't think it's right. I mean, just the Valley Forge joke. Just want to say that it was a joke.
What is that? What was the joke?
The tournament, the pro tournament. What they
The venue?
changed? No,
Okay. Be
The
specific.
rules of what the
They only
ABP
changed
did.
twice.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, that's pretty
What
good.
is it?
Only
That's a
twice.
joke.
Did you play that tournament, Dennis?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
I'm
I
like
got
totally agree.
7th, 8th, I think.
I have
You
never
know what?
heard of a
Let me
tournament
tell you
that
this.
changed the rules.
I would have
and
won
then
the
cue ball.
tournament if we kept the same cue ball.
Really?
Yeah.
You're wrong. I would have.
We have 2 people that are at least first and
If they'd have
second.
kept the red circle, I'm telling you, I would have won that tournament.
I just
red
don't
circle.
understand.
I
that.
love that ball.
One person complains.
I love the
and
red
the
circle.
whole thing changes.
It was unbelievable.
That's what's going to happen with this ABP.
They changed cue balls.
Well,
They changed the
ABP
break from winter break to alternate break,
Yes.
from
And
alternate
then they
break
went
back to winter break.
and then they change the cue.
And then
Did they
after
change?
I played 2 matches with a red circle ball, which I love to play with. I think it takes more of a stroke.
Yes.
The first day, Shane loses, Mika
Love it.
loses, Johnny loses, Putnam loses. Everybody lost the first day.
I didn't.
He lost, or
I
you
didn't
didn't?
lose, no.
Everybody
I
lost.
love
Now
that
I
cue
come in the
ball.
next day, I wake up and I see these. I'm like,
These,
what's
yeah.
going on?
See, and I'm
But
not.
It's a lighter.
They changed the cue balls. I'm like, well, who's they? And then I talked to the tournament
ABP.
director. He said, well, Mika went and got 12 balls.
Listen to this.
12
They
cue
say
balls
the
from.
ABP, the ABP changed
like-
these rules. Not one of them showed up for the players' meeting the night before.
They're not a legitimate group. And get it through your head. They don't exist.
Their
Well, I'm not
contract's
saying anything
bonkers,
bad about
too.
them. I'm just saying if
No, wait a minute.
If I
Wait a
could have
minute.
used the
They
red
haven't
circle, I would have
proven
won the
themselves.
tournament.
I mean, they have not. They won't even answer to an email. You can't run a business without acting like a business. But I'm curious because I'm not a fan of the measle ball. I understand the concept because it makes it better for visualization, TV,
Yes.
and everything else. But
So
I
use the
I don't-
red circle and put the ball,
I
the
like
dots
the
in
red
the circle.
circle. We have
No,
red
don't
circles
change the
here?
actual cue ball. I mean,
I like the red circle.
it plays
It's the
better and it
best.
takes more of a
See,
stroke to play
see,
with.
most people
the
don't say
best.
that anymore. Most people say the measles best.
Measles
No,
junk.
measles a
I hate
joke.
to
It's
say it.
too
It
light.
plays
junk.
flat.
That's what I
It
said.
deflects.
I know when I said
It's-
something earlier.
It
It's
deflects,
because of
it
this.
skids, it's a bad ball
It's
in my
it
opinion.
slides.
And it takes
slides
no
too much.
stroke to play with it.
Honestly.
With the red circle, you have to have a stroke
I'll
to be able
use
to play
red
with that
circle
ball.
this weekend.
Really?
Yeah, me too.
See, to me,
Fine
the
with me.
measle ball plays what I
Love to.
call flatter. it takes more of a stroke to make it do something. It just plays flat. It doesn't.
Hell no.
The ones I played with,
I'll tell you what I do like better.
I can draw further with a red circle.
I'll tell you what
by far.
I do like about the measles. They're white. The yellow, the red circles are yellow, and I don't
Well,
like
they've
that.
changed the mix. They play different. Red circle scars now, and 10 years ago they were indestructible. They have changed the surface, and Aramith doesn't respond to emails either. So,
We're playing with Aramith, right?
yeah,
okay.
well, they're the only.
I like Aramith. They're the best balls.
Oh, I like the Aramith balls. I just
Yeah.
don't like.
Well, I mean,
I've been playing with a measles just to get ready for it. But I mean, like at Valley Forge,
Yeah.
that red
was a
circle.
joke.
That was we all
It
admit
plays
that
so
was
much
a joke.
better. It
It
really
was
does.
crazy that they
And
changed
then,
the rules.
what
like
about
that.
this? I mean, I don't know about this, and I'm not starting. I want to ask you guys, what happened with them in the straight pool?
There were some legitimate issues there. It was
Okay.
just- I'm going to say it was
I don't
more
know, I was just
scheduling
asking.
issue.
Oh, are you
Okay.
talking about
They didn't play the finals.
Yeah.
Nick and Charlie.
Yeah. No, that's one that, based on the information I received,
There's almost legitimate.
I'll jump on Charlie's ass any chance I get, but at least I would try to do it when he deserves it, which is more often than not, it seems.
Yeah.
But for that particular time, I don't think there was any heat there. From what I understand, Mika was playing in another side event. Charlie waited for him.
for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, and
Just
and so then he had to go to New
Well,
York.
they were tearing the room down.
Yeah,
I mean,
they weren't going to have enough time to finish.
Yeah,
anyway.
it was.
So in that case, to me, shit happens. But if there's any blame to be assigned, I think it's split equally between Mika and the promoters of that event, because the way you fix that is real simple. It says, look, if you don't show up for the finals, you don't get paid.
Well, you need to say when the finals will be. You have to say the finals
That's what
will
I
be
mean.
at 8
No.
o'clock,
Yeah,
not,
no.
you know,
It
whatever.
has to be it's an organizational thing. And now when
And
I
they
say
learned their
blame,
lesson. Both guys-
absolutely. And
both-
those guys are great guys. and-
Charlie and Steve,
Yeah.
they're busting their ass to make that thing
Right.
work. They have helped revive straight pool.
Yeah.
And, we do a similar one out at our tournament, which starts next week, and
But
It's
it's
a
one of
lot
those
of
things
fun.
you live and learn. And I know I've been in their same shoes. You're putting things together. You're trying to make everybody happy. You don't want to step on anybody's toes. And but the bottom line is sometimes you just got to be an asshole and say, look, this is how it is.
Yeah.
For the benefit of
Yeah.
everything, for the
but
whole,
I
whole
agree.
thing.
I agree that Charlie
Because-
really you can't lay this one on Charlie.
No, I don't
But
think so.
the 4 Bears the next weekend or whatever it was is a different issue.
It wasn't 4 Bears.
Or what-
It
yeah, it
was something.
Yeah, Montana.
Hey, do you guys mind if I thank a few people while I'm
please,
around here?
yeah.
I'd just like to thank Bison Billiards for letting me play there.
Where are they located?
My friend Marco for racking the balls for me for a month straight for about 3 or 4 hours a day. There's a few others. Paul Gass for letting me play in your brand new diamond.
And where is this
everybody
place?
else that I forgot to mention in Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York. Okay, let everybody know.
Steve Goulden, thank you, from Snookers. Owns one of the best pool halls in the country.
That's a
if
big
not
room.
The best
Yeah.
pool hall in the country. Bruce Bartolette, Sal Conti, my father, of course. Thank you guys. You guys making it happen, for sure. Mark
That's good.
and Justin.
Yes,
Thank
Mark
you,
and
guys.
Justin both.
Thank you guys for coming
Yeah,
out.
no,
And
You're
Big
the
Nasty.
first. You're the
Yeah,
first
Big Nasty,
guys.
yeah.
You're the first guys in this new format, and ideally, this is the bottom. Our goal here is think UFC style.
You know what I'd like to know? I have a question. And I'm sure the fans would like to know this too. Is,
Did you submit it on AZ Billiards?
I did not, but I can if you like.
All right. This one time.
If the winner of our whoever wins our match, do they get to play the winner of Johnny and Shane's match?
That's where we're leaning.
We're-
And the only thing that would stop that from happening, and this is where I'm at with it, the only thing that could possibly stop that from happening, but one particular, Francisco, and I'll tell you why. I've got a list in my head.
We have to make our list up of the kind of
we're
the
gonna
tar
make it public.
rankings we're working
Right.
on.
Both of you guys are top 10.
Right.
There's 2 guys at the top, and that's based off of previous
Is
tar
this
matches.
out of the world or out of the U.S.?
U.S.
Well, see,
Available players.
Available players.
Because
You can't,
here's the other thing. I don't give a shit what some guy in
Thinks
China who nobody in this country knows couldn't pick out of a lineup. He may be the best player to ever hit a ball, but that don't do
he's
us
not
and our
going to get
fans
over
any
here.
good.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to me, and the other thing is, pool in Asia is doing great. Pool in the United States sucks. I'm concerned about pool in the United
Yeah.
States. I want to build it here. So to build
Yeah.
it here, we have to use the players that are here.
Yeah.
And
Available talent.
Yeah.
And keep the money locally.
right,
You know,
exactly. I don't
yeah.
want, so, but going back to that, your original question, yes, let me explain.
Yes,
Because,
maybe.
yes, maybe.
Just maybe.
Yes. No, I would say probably 90% for this reason. in my opinion, Bustamante is number 1 on our list. He's played Shane twice. He beat him twice.
That should be an international list, though, shouldn't it?
Why? If they can't get him here.
Boosty's here enough.
Bustamante isn't here enough. Yeah, he's here.
But the other thing is, so yes, as far as I'm concerned, the only way the winner of this match would not play Johnny and Shane is if
Boosty wants to play
Boosty jumps
Shane.
in.
yes, if Boosty wants to play the winner of
The
Shane
winner
and
of
Johnny.
Shane and Johnny.
Yes.
What if can we play him?
Play who?
Boosty.
The way I have envisioned, you have to.
You have to wait.
gonna be
you
somebody
have to
in
wait
between
line.
you guys.
Shane or John. Well, what
Well,
about
no, wait a
Johnny?
minute.
then, you know?
Wait a minute. There's not just the 4 or 5 of you in this mix.
No, you
We've
got to
got
remember.
Corey,
There's a
you know.
lot of guys that want to play.
Right.
If say
That's why we have to
say
pick this
Boosty
order.
comes
There's
across
Rodney, Johnny, Corey, me, you,
Mika.
Shane,
Schmidt,
Mika.
Appleton,
Yeah,
he's in the U.S.
Yeah, there's 8
You
of
know,
us.
there's plenty of guys here. And if Bustamante calls up and says, I'm going to be in the country in June or
You know what the funny thing is about that list? On any given day, any one of us can beat
Absolutely.
each other.
It is,
It
yeah.
doesn't matter what
Not
day
so
it is.
much on the
If-
longer
see, here,
races.
you
I'm
gotta-
gonna
you guys
disagree
gotta-
with
No, it
that.
is
That's-
because
see,
if
you're
I
lucky
play
you
bad,
got a
if
funny
he
look on
plays
your
bad
face,
tomorrow,
Mike,
I
but-
should win. If I play bad, he should win. So, but the next day, if I come out and I play good, he don't have to win. Or if we both
But
play
see,
good, then
here's
that's
the thing
different.
you
So it
guys
just
got to, and it's I understand
We're
where you're
all
coming
so
from.
close together.
You
It's
got to
just-
step away from being a player.
right.
It ain't
Right.
about being a player. It ain't about you or your ego. It's about what can sell. And the thing of it is, by having that, everybody
We have a
knows
structure.
anybody can beat anybody. But it's just like the MMA. In MMA, how many times have you seen guys get upset, knocked out? Anybody can beat
Yeah, a lot.
anybody on any
Yeah.
given day.
I would personally like to see this happen like
me,
once a,
Justin.
There you go.
There you go.
once a month. I would like to see this happen because I haven't played before me
We'll
and Darren.
find out this weekend. Yeah, we'll go from there.
Before me and Darren, I
MMA, I'm
haven't,
saying.
Oh.
before me and Darren, I haven't gambled a set like that probably in 15, 20 years. I mean, I played Johnny when I was God knows how old,
Yeah.
20 years ago. Played Kim, I've pretty much played everybody, but it had been 20 years. I played Darren, what was that, like 4 or 5 years ago? And now I get to play another match. It's like every match is like 4 years, 5 years, 10
No,
years,
we want to
20
set up
years
a
in between.
routine. We want to, and if this thing gets traction, we actually have something we might be able to go out and get some sponsors. However,
Right.
we really appreciate the sponsors we have.
Absolutely.
Well, Simonis has jumped up and
OB.
helped us.
OB's
OB's
always a
the
good
presenting
one.
sponsor.
Yeah.
Simonis
Kamui came on board and
came on
helped.
board. CSI, yay.
Yeah.
I'd like to become a sponsor. What's the minimum I can do to become a sponsor?
There you go.
There you go.
What was our other question? But no, going back to what you said about, to me, I've always thought the answer for a real players organization is you get 6 or 8 guys and you all get in a truck and you promote your own tournaments and you take 2 tables or go to pool rooms and you say, hey, look, the American professional pool players. See, here, this is the thing.
I don't mind putting in the work. That's
Nah,
the work is
bullshit.
Listen, I'm the only pool player that has a job. I will bet that. Okay.
But here's the thing: if there is that big of a demand, and this was my gripe with the ABP organization making demands on other people, other promoters.
Take it until
Well, and my thing is this: is if the draw is that big, to where you're going to threaten to boycott a tournament like the U.S. Open. Now, don't get me wrong; it's hard to get behind Barry because of some of the shit he's done in the past.
Agreed.
But that's, in my opinion, that's the only reason they got away with it is because it was.
But they didn't even attempt to
Let me
solve
finish. But the thing of it is, if you want, it's like the old sign that you'd see on teenagers' rooms. Now move out, get a job, pay your own way before forget what your parents are telling you.
I love
and
that.
that's not to say, but if there's that much, kill what you eat. Go out, create your own events.
I think you're
And
right.
you're not
I
the
think
only
you're
pool player
right.
with a job.
But we still.
Yeah, take all the money and then whatever you draw that weekend, that's your prize fund.
No, Justin, you still need a foundation, man. There still has to be people watching you. You can't go to one place and expect to pick up 10 fans, and then you still have to.
Why not?
Because you have to keep the organization has to keep those fans. That's impossible. Now, if there's no,
I don't.
What's
no,
that say?
Keep going.
Somebody asked you a question?
No, that's
the thing.
yeah.
How can we travel around the country, get 10 players or 10 people to watch us at each stop? Who's going to put up the money? We're putting in all the work.
So
That's a big question. See, that's the problem.
How are we gonna keep those 10 people to stay interested after?
Mike, that's the question that every promoter in the world has to answer.
See, the problem is nobody wants to watch.
Don't you
pool.
get that?
Don't you understand? See, that's the problem. Most
no, it's not
tournaments-
doing the right thing. Pool can be mainstream if it was all presented the right way.
So who pays for it?
Charity. Look, you tell me right now.
So
if
who pays for
if
it?
Jeanette Lee didn't start a tour, that people wouldn't be interested. Case closed. Okay, she has 1 million people who know her.
Yeah.
She can go out and start a pro tour by herself.
Why should she?
Yeah, well.
Because she's a pool player. She's got what she's wanted. She got what she wanted. She's got that hustler mentality.
But why should she hassle with the tour when she already gets the money?
It's
for
about the
herself?
bigger picture. It's about the sport. It's not about an individual. That's what I mean. Hopefully, if everything goes according to plan where I'm at, I want to give it back. I listen. I do well. Okay, I do good for myself. I'm not gonna. I don't mind. I want to see pool grow. It's what I want to do. It's my whole life. I did it since I was 14. I would hate to see pool. I'd hate to be in Dennis's shoes. Nothing against, but 40 years old and sees what 41 saw what happened the last 41 years in this sport.
Well,
I wake up every morning and say, why did I do this to my life? Why did I do that? And I'm hoping that we can actually get together and at one time and unite. But the problem is the people that are up top, they all they care about is that gig to cash in one time. And that's all they want is that cash in one time.
Talking about the players or
The players.
Yeah.
And,
See, because I have the same.
I'm sorry.
I have some of the same problems that you have from the other promoters. I didn't want to be a pool promoter. I wanted to make pool. The only reason I bought the leagues was because they were going to disappear. I got the same emotions you do, but I see it from the other side because everybody wants, and there's no sources of income. There's all these things that they should all put. How much the sponsors putting in is for added money. What sponsors?
Yeah.
But I appreciate
the sponsors
your.
are out there. The sponsors are out there. We're just not looking for them in the right spot. We don't have the right connections, and unfortunately, in life, we have to pay for those connections to get the word out to the people up top who have all the money. It costs a lot of money to do it, but there are people who you need to sell. You need to be a great salesman, man.
Well, what do you say to this? Here's the thing. I know people that have got plenty of money. They can do anything they want.
Okay.
Anything they want.
Yeah.
But at one time or another, they've all
Been
been fucked over.
Yeah.
That's the problem with pool players.
They've all been fucked over. Either not necessarily just by a player, but somewhere in the game.
Industry, yes.
In the game.
We're
Somewhere in
low.
the game.
It's so low. It's so bad.
And this
right
is
now.
my biggest thing, and I'm glad to hear you say that. But
Recently or in the past, like
just
back?
some time over in the years, but it happens every day. To me, it goes back to like other industries I've been in. Things that are just accepted as a matter of course in pool, like, oh, that's just a hustle, or oh, you got beat. Things that are just waved off and accepted as, oh, well, that's your fault for not being on the lookout for getting fucked over.
Yeah, that's.
What-
You shouldn't
what
have.
But in
to.
other industries, that's not accepted. I mean, that would the parties that were involved or did something like that, they'd be ostracized.
Absolutely, they'd be out.
Yeah.
They're blacklisted. Someone like Mark, I think, should take someone, whoever, and turn them in to someone outside the pool game, and that will do wonders on our sport. I mean, it will do crazy if they're socially accepted everywhere else. Because I'll tell you what, there are famous people playing pool. There are lawyers and businessmen in New York that like to go into Amsterdam and shoot around. They have $100 million.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? They're in there.
Yep.
And the fact is they unfortunately get to see the same mentality
Yep.
every day
Yep.
and over. So there needs to be someone presented to them saying, "Hey, I'm not like them, and this is what I'm trying
You
to do."
have to
for
have a
you."
package put together, which, believe it or
course.
not, you should sit in some of the discussions we have, and we're actually, it's getting closer, and it has to do with one of the groups I have, which is the USA Pool League, because it's designed somewhat to tie the amateurs and the professionals together,
Yeah.
because you need both to make
Well,
it
hell,
work.
I mean, the people you work for could change professional
Yeah.
pool tomorrow.
And they
The
won't.
problem is, and I'm
Tomorrow.
going to tell you, and I
Please.
can't say. I don't know what I should say and I shouldn't say. I
The,
can't talk about
the
I
APA
can't talk about
could
it.
change professional pool. The APA could put out a professional tour where the top 20 guys make a livable wage, make health insurance, make everything.
Well, they could own the industry. Let's just say
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
They could. They could. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I know why they don't, but I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, because they like money. That's why.
No,
and I
it has
don't
nothing
blame
to do
them.
with money. There's way more money in doing it, I believe.
No,
Yes.
there isn't.
Absolutely.
If there was more money,
endorsements, you're telling me from huge companies like
if there was more
that
money,
wouldn't give-
you wanna-
That's a 20-year.
FedEx, wouldn't. Yeah, but
20
it's down the
years.
road. It's
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah, but
it's
it's-
there.
Well, look, I'm 65. Terry Bell's 66, 67, and can't remember the partner's name. Isn't that funny?
Larry Hubbard?
Larry Hubbard is right up there. The incentive's gone. I know one thing. I bust my ass to do a $25,000 tournament, and I'm lucky if I break even. And I have 7,000 amateurs next door, and they just won't pay the $15 to come in and watch you guys play. Now, half of them don't know you're there. And our league is the most educated league. I hate we're trying to fix that, but the dynamics are gone.
What about a sign up though? I mean, there's things that aren't happening in our game that are happening in everything. The night before, there should be every professional player or a group of the top 16 signing for everyone in your league that walks through those double doors.
They should
be presented.
Say, hi, I'm Mike
I'm Mike
Dechaine.
Dechaine. I'm a professional
I want you to
pool player.
be my fan, and here's a T-shirt.
Yeah, give them something.
I mean, I totally agree.
Yeah, it
but
has
I
to be
can't
done.
fund that
Why not?
because
It's a table. It's a table and photos.
they're
That's
not.
it. It's a
they're not-
table and
I don't
photos.
have a stable
I'll do
of
it for free.
players. Oh well,
There you go.
yeah.
There you
One
go.
person,
I
there
mean,
you go.
Well, see, here's the thing. You're the one making the money off of it. Why wouldn't you fund it? Why don't you bring
You know
your
what the
photos
problem is?
and
Here's the
cue
problem,
balls?
and I'm going
What
to
do
tell
you
you what the
mean?
problem is.
Why don't you bring
Well,
the
let's hear
products?
from
I'll
our
bring in my
Yeah.
products. I got cue balls. I
People
got
have
I
to
got
pay
everything.
to come watch us play. There's an event in New York, Turning Stone Casino. Mike Zuglin runs
Yeah,
it.
great
That-
event.
it's
I've never been there.
Honestly, it's one of the best tournaments
Yeah.
I've ever been to.
Yeah.
It's $150 entry fee. The hotel is about $100 a night, whatever, and the fans get to watch for free.
You know why?
And they all come every single time.
If the
There's people
the
there,
casino-
hundreds of people.
that-
and then the
that
tournament,
deal-
from start to finish,
Mike,
is a great
That's
tournament
the
in 4 days.
sweetest deal in pool.
It is.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't. He makes money if
He has no
nobody shows
financial
up.
risk.
There's no financial risk. The casino takes care of that.
Right,
That's
I
what I
understand.
asked.
So
that.
he's
I
walking.
understand
It's a
that.
free roll.
How many
But still, I
casinos
mean, they
on
don't
the
have to
strip know
pay.
about
People,
our
a
pool
lot of
tournament?
people don't want to pay $15.
You know
It's
something
boring.
in Vegas? Well, I'll tell you what. Last year, I spent $3,000 advertising on Cox Cable the week
Yeah,
before.
yeah, yeah.
I had one person say that they even saw it, and I asked 20 people.
Well,
So
there's gonna be.
I-
But what about like putting it on a poster up in every casino, or they only
Oh, I don't
they
think
only
so.
do that for their casino.
You
Well,
think?
there's gonna doesn't the
Yeah,
Riviera
it's-
tied into other casinos?
No, the Riviera.
Well,
they're
the
alone.
Riviera.
They're
Here's the
themselves.
thing: the clutter in this town is
Yeah.
It's
obscene.
overwhelming.
What about on
Overwhelming.
the train or the
Yeah, the bus.
Do you have any idea what that shit costs?
in Vegas? Everything's cheap.
Oh,
It is?
really?
I see $1 a square foot for office space down the road. That's cheap.
Well, go price what it costs for a cab or a bus or, God forbid, a billboard.
Oh yeah.
Billboards are like $2,000 a month, and with minimums. Just a billboard sitting on the
I
side
don't
of the
know.
hall, and that's in a bad
solution.
location.
There is a solution.
Well, no, and
You have the
that's
fan
not
base.
bad.
You have the people
Here's
there.
the solution. Here's the solution. It's
Why
what
not
we.
jacking up everybody's entry fee by $2?
who's entry fee?
They're in the all the amateurs.
Okay, and
That's it.
And
It
do
all
what
goes
with
to
it?
added money in the pro tournament.
ah,
Now wait, no, listen.
that's somewhat what the USAPL is about. It can't be added to the pro tournaments because the amateurs say, "I'm not going to support those guys. They're assholes."
Yeah.
I got an idea.
Well, that's the problem.
Why don't you let
know
them
what I'm
watch
saying?
for
It's
free?
given-
And let them watch for free, and that place will be slammed. I promise.
Yeah, but where's
Yeah,
the
but then
20
how do you
where's the
fund
added
the prize
prize
fund?
on
They're
that?
going off
Endorsements.
anyway with the drinking, the booze,
Sponsorship.
the
But how do you fund the
APA.
prize fund?
Sponsorship.
You're
If
not
you could say
funding it
you can
now
have
with,
1,000
with,
people in that room.
spectators.
Well,
That's the only way you get any money back.
I had
You even said
25,000.
yourself, they won't come in and watch us, they don't even know we're there.
No, I had 25,000.
Right.
And I'm hoping, and last year, by the time we pay the labor and the 25,000, we broke basically even.
Yeah,
that's
but
because
honestly, how many people were there watching throughout the week? Maybe the finals.
we had pretty good crowd.
No, the
We
crowds
actually
were good
get
last
pretty
year.
Were they?
good crowds.
Comparatively.
comparatively.
We'll have a couple hundred people in there. I'll bet you we have more than Turning Stone does.
I don't think so.
I've never
it's
been there.
close. Yeah, it's close.
I've never been to Turning Stone.
They get quite a lot of people.
They do have a lot of people. Turning Stone's great. I love the venue. It's perfect.
it
It's
really
not
is.
too big. It's not too small.
knock to this
It's-
tournament.
No,
I
no,
love
no,
this
I
tournament.
understand.
I
The
love
beauty
this
of the
tournament.
East Coast is 30 million
And then
people
you
within
stick
a
us in the
3-hour
back.
drive.
But
You
a
know,
lot of
listen,
people don't want to pay $15 to come in and watch us
totally
play.
agree.
They
You
walk
stick
in,
us
they
in
look.
the back. Why
You know what
aren't
I'm
we
saying,
right
Justin?
in front with all these people
Justin,
that
you know what I'm
walk
saying?
by
They
and
walk
see?
in, it's
Yeah, it just
quiet,
doesn't
there's a
math
curtain,
work.
they
It doesn't
open
work
it,
that
it's
way.
like shh,
Why- put up
everybody, you
curtains
know,
around.
they're like,
Well,
they'd rather go out and do
just-
it. What
I
they
understand
do is
and I
more
appreciate
fun
the
than
input.
watching us play.
Yeah.
They have their
Well,
own events, they have their own venue,
yeah.
they have more fun
Yeah.
Well, dude,
doing their own
bottom
thing than
line
watching
is
us.
pool is not exactly an exciting fucking thing.
Well,
to
no
watch.
question.
It's not.
Yeah.
It is not.
It really
Well,
isn't a
that's broken
spectator.
range,
It is a
But I'll
it
tell
is
you
a
what, the APA
participant
players
course.
have a ball out there. You can hear them yelling and screaming. They have more fun. That's what I'm
BCA
saying.
players,
Or BCA,
Yeah,
yes. I'm
thank
sorry.
you.
Sorry.
It's just alphabet soup. Don't worry about it.
BCA. I forgot. Well, he works for the APA. You're BCA. I don't know. Whatever. I'm just saying that you know, they're out there having more fun here at this tournament than when they come in and see us. They open that curtain and we're all in there dead silent, sitting
So
down.
here's the other thing.
That's the beauty of the Moscone Cup.
Yeah, they'd
Man,
rather
get you-
go out and
Well,
play in their own
but here's the
league.
thing: if you try to change the atmosphere, the players freak.
Well,
It's got to be quiet.
pros-
It's
It's
not about the
First of all,
players.
listen to
though.
this.
It's about the game.
the
Very
player.
good.
That's what I
Screw
just
the
said.
player.
It's not about
I
the
agree
players.
with you. You have to
They
make
have
the
no
audience.
say in the matter. What is the ABP going to not show up? Okay, well, then you have 64 player field with 64 players who want to play.
No, I see. You and I agree on a lot of stuff.
No, I mean, it's both of you guys, I think, get it. It's just, a lot of it comes down to, and I understand all the stuff you're saying, yeah, there's ways to do it, but the bottom line is everybody says sponsor, get sponsored, do this, do this. The thing of it is, unless you can make a sponsor more money or give them enough of an
Something of
impression
value
in return, they're not going to do it. You know, I mean, it's just the people that do sponsor, like, that's one of the reasons why this industry, you know, if I told you, okay, the Nationals we got coming up, second largest pool tournament in the country, 7,000 players. If you knew what the total value for banners and sponsorship, you look around there, you see banners and everything.
I know the
If
banners are about 500 apiece.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. $500? What the fuck is $500? It's the second biggest event in the country. 7,000 people.
Yeah.
What is $500? You know what it
can't
costs
get
to
it.
hang a light? $400.
Does it?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. No, he's
Each
right.
light?
Yes.
Oh my
You know
God.
what
What
it
do you
costs to
mean?
hang a light?
No. He's talking about an individual
Yeah.
light on a table.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you know what it
single-
That's what I mean.
Yes.
Each individual light's
Yes.
$400.
No, if
If
you
you
had a
take
single
it-
table out there in
Yeah.
the middle of the floor and
Yeah.
you want a light. Catch
Oh.
this. What's it take? How much does it cost to take it down?
$400.
Really?
Yes. People have no clue.
That's
$400 for each light.
If you well, the interior light on all the rooms, that's a package.
Okay.
So you sell. I'll tell you what.
I was going to say, there's
I,
like 300.
I'm
How
going to
many
leak a
tables are
little
over
bit of
there?
your business
Okay,
here.
that's okay.
I saw a memo that they're running late this year. They're not going to be able to get in and start putting up the lights.
Because they had the room rented out to another venue.
So they have to put on 6 additional carpenters for 1 8-hour shift.
Electricians.
No, carpenters
These
is
are
what it
carpenters?
was.
Okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
I saw the email,
Yeah,
man.
okay.
Trust me.
They have to work
What do you
overnight.
think it costs for 6 carpenters?
$25 an hour times 8 guys, that's $200 an hour.
$8,000.
$3,300.
So I just
For
got
one
hit.
day.
I just got hit for a
For one day.
$3,500, $3,360 additional charge. I have no way of recovering. Zero, zip, nada, except unless you give it to me out of your winnings.
Sure, we can make out a deal where if you know you come ahead of the tournament, I'm sure you
But
know.
that's what I'm saying is just like as a
Pay it up.
player, the expenses people don't see, hotel, food, gas.
How about
What if something
referees?
breaks on your car when you go? You know, all that shit.
Not
Yeah, what
only
about the
that,
promoter?
but
What
you're
about the
taking a
promoter?
lot
But
of
now-
time.
Promoter gets kickback from the hotels.
We do.
Promoter gets, you know,
Yeah, we do.
What about kickback
Yeah.
from food? No,
No.
no food.
Booze? No.
Vendors. There's a lot of vendors
There
in that
are.
room. I don't know
That's
what
right.
they pay. I would have to presume probably for the week, 1,500,
1,100.
1,100. Okay, so I mean,
Okay.
Do you want to start doing the numbers on what
how-
it costs to run an office?
How many people do you think we have running here? We got 45 referees, buddy.
yeah, but they're doing it for practically nothing.
I don't care if you paid them $50 a day. It's 200. That's 2,000 a day times 10 days. That's 20,000 just in
So you
referees.
have 50, but that's 25
Oh,
rooms.
and we
You know,
got to
you
put
bunk them up.
We got to put them in a room.
You bunk them up.
And 25 rooms.
Bunk 'em.
We're at
Four in a
our
room.
referee cost.
You may
Mike,
put 3 in a room.
Mike, I tell you what.
our referee
I tell you
costs
what.
over
If
50.
you
Listen,
think
I'm ready
there's
to
that
play
much
this
money in
match.
it,
Let's go.
I will help you do a tournament.
I'll do a tournament. I won't do it at like a place like this. I'd do it at a pool hall. I think you can make. I think you could do well. Not only that, no. Listen to look what Steve Goulden did last year.
That's why I stay
First of all,
quiet.
You want to know what's good? You know what's great about my area?
If you can
It's
make
so
money doing
condensed.
tournaments, how come
We have
how
6
come there's only
states
5
that
events this
everything's
year?
just right there, and it's perfect.
You
Dennis,
have
Okay.
a lot of people on the East
Yes,
Coast.
I have a lot of
Here's
people
this,
up there.
answer me this question. If you could take 50,000, if I gave you 50 grand and you could guarantee me a $2,000 guarantee, 100%, guarantee me a $2,000 return, just 2 grand on 50,000, right? Do you think if you did a tournament, if I gave you $50,000 to do a tournament, you think you could show a $2,000 profit? Guarantee me that? Guarantee me $52,000.
We'll wait for your
back.
answer. Go ahead. Think about it.
Depends if I had.
My point is
No,
this.
listen.
It depends.
Do I have do I have his league or the APA?
No.
If I had the APA and if I had his league, I could guarantee you more than that.
Okay. So,
Guarantee
no,
you.
I'm not talking about amateur tournaments. I'm talking about pro tournaments.
Well, that's a part of the pro tournament. You need the amateurs there. You
Only
need the
to a
foundation.
degree.
The foundation.
Only
you know,
to a degree.
they're the ones spending the money on the hot dogs. They're the ones spending the money to get into the gate. They're the ones that are buying the hotel. You know, you need them.
Can I just
I
ask-
agree with him. It needs to be free if you want.
There you
crowds.
go. No
And,
question.
and that has to come from
Your
somebody.
crowd will double.
Offer them
Crowd
something to be
will
in there.
double if they can walk in
Offer
there
them
for free.
something.
It will double.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee it. Maybe
But,
triple.
but even double and triple, you're still not going to get a sponsor.
Tell you what, now
attention.
listen to this.
It's
Right.
got to be a special
Can I ask
sponsor.
a stupid
If somebody
question?
was in this pro, somebody was no. If
maybe
Dennis Hatch
maybe
was
this is a stupid question, but if you're bringing all these players to a hotel or a casino, the Riv, why isn't the hotel putting up the 25,000 when you're bringing 7,000 people
You can't get their attention in this town.
into their hotel?
You cannot. They're giving.
They are going to eat, sleep, drink,
and they're giving us
and whatever else
give
they
you
can
the
blow
space.
their money.
And they're giving us 120,000 square feet of space free. They're hanging the lights. You know how much they're building? Their internal cost for hanging those lights has got to be $75,000 or $100,000. They're putting in the pipe and drape. They're giving all the porters. We're using their tables and their chairs and their risers. And this is, if you went to the Mandalay Bay and said, you're going to see a bill for $400,000 to do what we do, and the Riviera does it for nothing. And you know what really pisses you off? The pool player says, well, I can stay at the Circus for $5 cheaper.
Yeah, stupid.
That mentality pisses me off to no end. They want, but they won't support.
They should have to support, Mark.
Oh, one
They
more
should
question.
have to.
You're
If they
changing
play in the
venues?
tournament, they should have to
Yeah.
be safe.
Yeah, I think that when you
You
change
can't
venues,
do
it's
that.
going to be
Why
better
not?
too, in my opinion.
You can't, because,
Not
well,
only that, listen to this. I'm saying, no,
this was a fun discussion.
Back to the
I'm
other
getting
thing.
tired.
If I knew,
I just want to play this match. Can we talk about pool? Because
let's say Dennis
I'm not a
Hatch.
promoter,
If
director.
Dennis Hatch was famous and was on TV.
What do you mean, what if he was? I am famous.
Okay, yeah, okay. Good
People.
luck with that. Anyways, listen. No. Let's say Dennis Hatch was famous on TV, in the news, in the media, on the morning show. Someone like Jeanette. Jeanette will pack a crowd.
well, I'm going to agree
Okay,
with you.
so why isn't your money into pushing someone like that to be in that mainstream media?
Can I ask, what do you
That's
mean, my money? What money?
Well, the money from the USAPL. Is that what it is?
It's a,
money.
where-
What
it's a-
money?
you got the right idea.
You know what I'm
but
saying.
you got.
I don't know where the money's gonna
You
come
need to go out and find some more zeros. I know they're just space holders, but that makes $100, $1,000, and $1,000, $10,000.
Yeah,
See,
well-
$100,000 wouldn't get you blip.
It wouldn't.
Can I ask a
It
question?
wouldn't get one person.
I'm just gonna interrupt
to
everybody
actually start to
here.
get out there.
Yeah, let's
Has
leave
pool ever
this
been
in.
great? Has pool ever been good?
Oh,
Have
yes.
pool players ever been rich?
20s, 30s.
In the 20s and 30s?
Before World War II.
Okay, well,
You know why?
was-
Before television.
because all I've been hearing for 30 years is how, we're going to do this and I'm going to do that. And
I know it's a sad state of affairs.
Kevin Trudeau and this guy
Oh.
and that guy. And it's just, to me, Camel at the time was the best thing we had going.
And the
Yeah.
players,
Yeah.
from what I
finished-
heard, I wasn't alive, but I heard the players screwed them.
I loved it. I know.
they really got
Don
a raw
Mackey.
deal.
I heard Don Mackey
Players
screwed
got a
them,
raw
but
deal,
I don't know.
or the players screwed over
No,
the.
Camel got a raw deal.
Yeah,
did
because
put
they
their
stopped
money
using
where-
Joe Camel for a.
Well, you had
they
the Fed-
couldn't use that anymore for advertisement.
You couldn't
And then I
advertise
heard
you couldn't even
Smoking
on
Joe,
TV,
right? The Camel.
You couldn't even
advertise smoking. But them
Yeah.
tournaments, every tournament, first place was 15,000 every single time, and the prize money payout wasn't jacked like it is like the Hopkins tournament. 20 and 4,
That's crazy.
20 and whatever it was, 20
don't
and
even-
7.
It was huge.
Yeah.
And in our events, we do not like splitting
And then
and stuff like that. And that encourages
And
something
then
like
at
that.
the end
you're
of
just
the
asking for
year,
trouble.
I won $30,000 for being the number 2 player in the world in 1998. A $30,000
See?
cash bonus,
Wow.
boosting 160. Cash bonus.
Tobacco money.
Yeah. It was crazy.
That can be done again.
Well, I agree with
That
you.
can be done
Listen,
again.
I
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah.
still be doing this if I didn't think I could
Hey,
do
hey,
something.
Listen, if you just got to put the energy in the right spot, you can't get too tied up in personal endeavors in the business. You have to just see you have
look
to
at the
step
big
back.
picture.
You got to step back for a minute, look at where the industry is, and just.
Well,
do
I'll
the
tell you
right
something.
thing.
I love what you're saying. I'm going to say something.
I know. Listen,
No,
I'm
wait,
very
wait.
young. I don't know.
We need to wrap this whole
Okay, I'm
what's
gonna say
wrong with
one
pool
thing.
thing up.
One thing. I love the fact that you're
Wrap it
getting
in the match.
supported
Talk
by
about
the
the
Yeah,
match.
APA.
exactly.
Oh, yeah. I love the fact that you're being
You can't
supported by
bash
the APA. I'm not going to bash
Bash
it.
nails.
And I'm hoping that Bruce has listened, and somebody from the APA should contact me and see if we can work together. See, I do want the sport to grow, and I'll put it right out. There it is. Let's do something.
Yeah.
They know my phone number. Hell, they won't even talk to me.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
I have no-
And I really will support the industry. throw the do we want the sport to go somewhere? Throw that shit
throwing
out.
it out there. We're throwing the energy out there.
That's right. Come and
Mark's
help us.
throwing the energy out there.
Somebody help us.
I don't know if you get the energy back. You know?
I mean, nobody's asking for anything outrageous here. Let's just make it work.
Well, let's save the world next week. This week we got a match with.
Hey, all right.
do.
I'm going to tell you.
do.
What do you guys think about the online? You can't call it
Right
betting, but
now you're a 5 to 4
5 to 4
favorite.
basic.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you, everybody. I love it.
I have a
perfect.
friend back home that wants to bet 5,000.
You have a friend.
Well, listen,
You
tell
are-
your friends.
I
want to
thought you
bet
told me the
5,000 even money.
Tell your friend we
Anyone
can
who
play a
wants
race
bet.
to 50 or
Really?
100 for whatever he would like to bet. Forget that 5 to 4 on the money and 2 games on the wire. And
This is what we want to hear. So you.
There's no chance of me playing a race to 100. But
how about 50?
I'll play him best. Let me think about this. 8 out of 15.
Why don't you play race to? Why don't you just call your guy? You're gonna play race to 25, 2 out of 3.
I'll do that. Yeah, that's what he's saying. He said he'll bet this one.
Yeah, but
He said he'll bet this match.
But you have to go to Providence, right? I think I saw it online, or somebody
No.
said that
Here.
if you're in the
So
Providence,
if
area-
the guy was to pick the phone up, and if I really knew him really good, and we
Yeah.
could get somebody to post the cash, you
Yeah.
could post the cash, and somebody could have 5 on the side. Hey, somebody should call Justin.
absolutely.
No, you shouldn't, because we don't do that.
We don't hold the money. We can't
yeah,
hold the
that's
money.
You shouldn't call me.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I'd love to see you guys get more down in the game.
I put that out 3 weeks ago, though.
I saw the
Yeah,
post,
I
and
put that out 3
listen.
weeks
I
ago.
got to take.
Listen, I'm just happy to be here and win or
I'm
lose,
glad
whatever.
you're getting a
You
little
know, just
into the thing. It's supposed to be
the fact that I
promoted.
get something if I lose, if I lose, is great. You know,
We're
you guys
trying
do
to-
more than you
Yeah.
know most people do at all.
Hey, this
for
is
game,
the
for
start.
players,
Maybe in a
for-
year or two we can look back and say,
Well,
remember
yeah.
that first match?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
You know?
dude. Look where we started. You know, I mean, in 4.5 years, it's.
This is Tar 25, man.
And the other thing is, one thing that I tell everybody is, you ain't gonna get rich doing this right now, but you're gonna get what you promised.
You're right.
And you know, we're not gonna screw anybody over. And
Well, $1,000 for 2 or 3 days is. I mean, that's
Well, with a chance to get to
right,
win the
right.
5
A chance to
and
win
a chance to
4,000
play
and
again.
a chance to play again.
Yeah.
So technically,
you're playing.
you got a chance to win 8,000.
well,
you know?
and the other thing too is,
5 or 8,000.
you know,
you could win 4
this,
here
and
then
this
lose
is something
next.
that a lot of guys, really nobody's taken advantage of yet, is, you know, in our matches, you're the focus of the pool world for a weekend. You really are.
I try. It's really tough. I
Yeah.
noticed that. You know, the names out there, I've tried to take advantage of it. It's not just the way the
I just think I appreciate you guys doing it, but the beauty of it is you showed that you're willing to work with us. You didn't start putting up all these obstacles, you know, and
Right.
you know
Yeah,
we had
that's the problem.
I'd like
They
to know
think they're
why I'm a 5 to 4
superstars.
favorite.
Pool players
What's
think they're superstars.
I'd like to know why I'm a 5 to
I
4
understand.
favorite.
Yeah, I don't
understand.
Listen, like I said, you know, you got to take what you can get in this industry. You know, so take
Well,
it. You know.
Well, I mean, you got to start. To me, if you're going to build anything solid, you have to lay a foundation. You know.
How do you guys know I'm a 5 to 4 favorite?
well, that's
It's
just the
online.
AZ. That's
what
what
That's
it
just
is.
AZ. That's what everybody's
Yeah, they
saying.
only want to bet 50s.
$50.
No, there's one guy that got he had
Couple
some.
$200.
Oh no, he had like 10 different propositions, but day one, day
Well,
game
but
set
here's the
one,
thing. That's
Yeah.
you know,
whatever.
who. That's what you want, man. You want the 50s and the 100s and the $20 sweat bets, because you know what? Now they're going to watch.
Yeah, that's
And you
what
know
makes
what?
it-
If
that's
they
what makes it
watch
interesting,
and,
right.
and they pay, guess what? If we make some
Why don't you
money,
guys have a sweepstakes?
we'll do this again.
Right.
You make more money. You know what I mean? And that's the
sweepstakes
beauty
means,
of it.
A way
And to me,
around gambling.
you know,
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
eventually we're going to because we took a rock hard, solid stance on any business with any event we do. Because if we could ever get the real integrity into this game, we might be able to get some online betting and stuff. You know,
Yeah, but
that
that's illegal in the States.
It's
not illegal in Nevada.
No? Oh, that's
no, you
great.
do it in the casinos.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You got Harry Platters
Not
trying to
online,
put this thing
in the
together.
casino.
Yeah,
In the
casino.
but I think you can do
Like they did back before the players got smart and decided to cut
Yeah,
up.
there was a
casino.
tournament here. I remember
Yeah,
that.
in 1991.
Is that when it was?
Bellagio. It was
Not
only
Bellagio,
it was
Caesar.
only Steve Wynn's joint.
It was Caesar, wasn't it?
No, it was I think it was
Wasn't it Bellagio?
Not
I think
Bellagio,
it was
was,
Caesar's.
it
It was a
was-
straight pool tournament.
Mirage? It was Mirage.
Mirage. It was
Yeah.
it was Steve Wynn.
Why?
It
What did he
was-
say? Did he have a comment on it?
He's like the biggest guy in the world. As
There's
far as
never
gambling.
been
And
another
he
pool
basically
tournament
said there
booked.
will not be any more pool in my casinos. And guess what?
Well, not only that, but there's never been another pool match. You can't bet on pool in the casinos here. You can't bet on a Moscone Cup in a sports book in
No, that's
Vegas.
stupid. You should be able to.
You can bet on tiddlywinks.
You can't bet on the Moscone Cup?
Cup? No.
I didn't
should
know
be
that.
able
I
to.
thought you could here.
Well, I'm not saying we're working on it.
They don't
but
put lines
if
up.
So
we-
when they said we were a 2-1 underdog in
That's on the
2009
English
or whatever
book.
that was over
Yeah.
in Europe.
Like Betfred and stuff like that. Yeah.
wow.
And in Europe, they bet on everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
literally.
that's one of
everything.
the reasons why snooker does so well. Everybody says, well, snooker does it.
Oh,
There's a
darts
lot of
does.
reasons. That's one of the reasons.
Darts, too.
That's one of the
Darts,
reasons.
too.
The other is it's federally funded.
The
They're
coverage.
teletax.
Yeah, the BBC.
Anyhow, we got to
Yeah,
wrap
we
this
gotta
up
go. I gotta
because,
hit some balls.
well, it's about time.
Yeah.
Well, you just
Okay,
don't
guys.
just stand up. You got to say,
So are you going to go eat?
You hillbilly.
Can you go eat and I'll hit balls for a little while,
I
then
haven't
I'll
even
leave?
hit balls half an hour. That's all I've hit.
Okay, because there ain't no sense in me sitting here if he's going to hit balls. I'll just come back or something.
Okay.
That's cool. I gotta pick up my girl later, anyways.
all right, y'all, tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, that's 7 o'clock Eastern,
Yep,
it's
7
going to
Eastern.
happen. Kenny Schuman's going to be talking. Justin's going to be running the camera. I'll probably sit in and give everybody heart. I have to come down so I can interrupt. That's what I do.
And then do it well.
I'm the great interrupter. Thanks for Simonas for getting behind us, Kamui, and obviously OBQs. And I still have to say thanks to Skip for some tweeting Chuck. I have to. He really treated us right. We got in a
And
bind, and he
thanks
fixed
to
it.
these two guys for stepping up and giving it a
And
shot.
seeing it's
we
good.
look forward to it.
It's good old-fashioned
And
rivalry.
thanks for doing the podcast, too.
No problem.
you.
You guys make sure
Thank
you
you
watch
guys.
because no matter who wins, it's going to be a great match.
You got it.
We're all
It's gonna be
mic'd
fun,
up.
too.
Remember that.
Yeah, they're going to be Mike tomorrow. So.
Yeah, there might be a little drama involved here, a few F-bombs here. You guys want to keep it,
We have no.
stay close to the screen.
And we have no bleep control. He
Yeah.
can't go bleep.
Intelligent humor coming. We'll do it.
Thanks a lot very much. And Justin, about ready to wrap it up?
Wrap it up.
One,
Thanks,
two,
guys.
three. Good night.
Have a
Good
good
night,
one,
all.
guys.
Thanks.